Mr. Venkatramana, Mr. Sarma, all the fellow students. It gives me great pleasure to address you all in this occasion. It's a vibrant function or vibrant program or vibrant journey for all the company secretaries who are going to be in the future. At the outset, let me thank all of you because you are nearing your milestone and will be the noble responsible citizens of the country. The country is going for the industrial revolution. We are now heading to become the third largest economy of the world. And for the growth of a country, what is most important is the corporate role, which contributes a lot for the country's growth. When we talk about corporate, what does it look at? Is it the top line and the bottom line? This is what most of the people think about. But I would like to say it's much more than that. To me, what is desirable from a corporate is increasing the shareholders' value. And when I say increasing the shareholders' value, is not surging the share price, not increasing the sensex and improving the share price. It is in addition to this, give something to society where you have the corporate social responsibility, and at the same time do things in an ethical way, because this is what is desirable from you. To make these things possible, in 2003 the New Companies Act was enacted, repealing the old 1956 Act. And to draft this, it was the advisory committee or the advisory group was chaired by Dr. J.J. Irani, the former MD of Tata Steel and of Tata Sons, director of Tata Sons. Tata Group is a group which is known, which is an insignia of ethics and corporate governance. And the government chose the right person to be in the advisory committee to draft this committee, and draft this new act. And this new act, the main aim of this new act is to ensure that there is no corruption, because what we all know is that our country economy will grow much faster or much higher unless the corruption and other things are curbed. And for that, strict controls are required. So 2013 Act brought about all these controls, the audit system or transparency and many other things. And in addition to that, corporate social responsibility became a mandatory thing. So all these things are taken care of to improve the shareholders' value. To make all these things possible, I believe in ECG. When I use the word ECG, it may create panic with you, because you may think that problem in the heart or something. But here ECG stands for ethics, compliance and governance. When I talk about ethics, ethics is the soul, compliance is the conduct, and governance is structuring the business to move forward. Ethics is a compass which guides a professional not to know what is the truth, but to choose what is the truth, even if everyone is silenced. You should choose the right path when no one is watching you. Fortunately, I have worked in a company with Tata Steel. I mentioned about it. Tata Steel is a company where many companies that teach about ethics and they say that ethics is essential in life. But Tata Group is a company, is a group which practices ethics. Tata Group is a group which can never compromise anything. For them, ethics is everything. The business may go to drain, but the ethics in no case will be compromised. They have a system. They have the vigilance cell, you may not be knowing who is that. And a slight deviation from ethics will just throw you out of the company and will spoil the reputation. And not only that, the people who work in the group, they have ethics imbibed in their blood. And that's the reason for which people start in the group and even end in the company except for very few people like me who keep on changing jobs for growth. Ethics is something which attracts responsible investors, committed employees, and loyal customers. So ethics is not just a tool, it's an essence in life. And if today you young people, if you don't believe in what will happen to the future, so you have to believe in that to take the country forward. Then comes the compliance. Compliance is nothing but resetting the ethics, the setting of the ethics. Nowadays, the Companies Act 2013 has laid down the rules and procedures, and all the companies have to meet the compliance. And if they don't meet, the register of companies will impose penalty. So here what I would like to say is there should be more and more strict controls to that. So if the penalty is not that high, but if a person repeats, you can miss a compliance because of mistake. It can be an error, it can be oversight. I have done that in the past. But if it's repetitive things, the penalty should be high, and then only the people will realize. But again, there are ways to come out, and there comes to picture again ethics. And ethics, if that is compromised, everything goes to hell. The third is the governance. When I talk about governance, I talk about TAR. T stands for transparency, A stands for accountability, and R stands for risk management. Transparency is something which many people don't have, which many companies don't have. You may be knowing that recently, I don't want to name, many companies which were listed in the stock exchange, and then they were caught for giving false, hiding the true facts about the company. And when they were caught, the share prices started sliding, and the top people have to go. So be transparent. Transparency is something which is very much desirable, and that is something and requirement of ethics or the requirement of ethical path. Accountability. If no one is accountable, everyone takes the job lightly. So if accountability is not established, people will not be responsible and they will not deliver. Today, as CFO of a company, I know that if something goes wrong, it is the CFO who is going to be caught, and CFO will go on behind the bars or will be penalized. So that is my accountability, and based on that, I have to combine the ethics and accountability to see that proper governance is maintained in the company. And last is, every business has a risk. No risk, no return. So one has to take calculated risk, and to take calculated risk at the same time you have to prepare for how to manage the risk. What are the ways in which we can mitigate the risk? So managing the risk is one of the biggest things which one has to look at in the corporate. And then only what is more not important is to get a profit, but sustainability of a profit is the most important thing. And there risk management plays a very important role. In this today's environment, when everything is changing, a lot of new risks will come through. Threat from the competitors can be one of the risks. Threat from the substitute of the product can be one of the risks. For example, time was there when nowadays landline phones are not required because of mobile phones. They are threat to the substitute. So similarly, every business will have a threat. I work for an energy company which is doing something innovative. They store the electricity. They store the electricity using pumps. During the daytime, they take the solar energy, they pump the electricity up, they store it, and the night time, they use that energy to operate a gas turbine, to steam hydro turbine and generate power. So solar power can be stored in the day and used in the night. So these are the innovative things, and which is a replacement of battery. So risk management is something which is most important. Now, so welcome all of you, the future company secretary. Your role is not just limited to maintaining the statutory records or conduct the board meetings. You are the one who have to drive in the ethics. You are the one You are a custodian of corporate integrity, torch bearer of ethical conduct, and strategic advisors to true leadership. The business environment may change, technology may evolve, laws will change, but what will remain constant is the values of good governance, and that is what is expected from you. So keep learning because there is no end to learning. All that is required is not to mug up the sections of Corporate Act, but to interpret the Corporate Act and guide the leaders, business leaders, whoever is in the corporate role, how to conduct the business in a prudent and diligent way. I am not a company secretary as I was introduced, but to know what is right for a country, I have to depend on the company secretary. And if he doesn't advise me, I shall be failing in my duty. I always regard the company secretary of Tata Power when I work. It's a bomby stock. I don't know how much you know him. A person who keeps on analyzing the Companies Act. Today, even now, today I just call him and say, I'm doing this. Is it prudent for the industry? So I expect, today he is retired, he is now more than 70 or 75. But today, if I need to ask him something, yes, this is the right part to do, I just take my phone and just call him to find out if he wants to do. And same thing I expect from you, that when you grow up and when you will be growing up and will retire, some people will be also calling you to ask, are we moving in the right path? Are we heading in the right direction? So that is what is desirable from you and not just to display your details. I thank all the mentors who have guided you and you have derived knowledge from them to move forward. I again congratulate you for moving to this path. Keep on learning because knowledge gives power. And before I conclude, I would like to say one thing, the 2 C's. 2 C's when I say is credibility and corruption. Credibility is something, if you establish a credibility through your work, if you establish a reputation in the company, you are an asset to the nation because the nation wants to go in the proper direction and you will be an asset to the nation. But if you resort to malpractices, if you resort to corruption, where all the rules and regulations, all the governance and all can just be thrown away for the sake of money, which many corporates do, you may be earning money, but you will be a liability to the nation. So the choice lies with you which path you are going to take. With this I conclude. Thank you very much.